Hello everyone, welcome to my bold and beautiful now channel. As always, this time I have appeared with the mysterious soap opera. So don't delay, like and subscribe now and stay tuned. Finn communicates trust for a future with Sheila in it at Minister's place. Trust actually attempted to accept how the situation was playing out, yet Finn and Elder guaranteed her that it was valid. Sheila was back and had very left them. Sheila depicted the period in her existence with Sugar as a frantic time. Sheila said she wasn't supporting what she'd done, yet Sugar had been a tormented soul even before that. Finn said Sugar had tied Sheila up and needed to hurt Steffi and outline Sheila. Minister expressed that Sheila was a changed lady, deserving of his and Finn's adoration, and it would mean everything to Elder if Trust would begin to acknowledge it. Finn agreed. The fact that Finn had faith in her makes Sheila flabbergasted. Grasping her hand, Finn said he'd seen her work, and she'd demonstrated it to him. She answered that all she'd needed was to feel needed, acknowledged, and adored. She'd bombed for what seems like forever, and nobody had allowed her an opportunity up to that point. She at long last had why she'd looked through as long as she can remember. Trust commented that she was glad for Finn and Minister for protecting and helping Sheila. However, Trust actually had concerns. She was a casualty in this. However, would we say we are actually persuaded to such an extent that she's not a similar lady fit for homicide? Trust inquired. Minister declared that Sheila had put her life in danger to shield Steffi and the children from Sugar with no control or fiendish aim. Finn added that Sheila had offered her own life instead of theirs. Sheila expressed that it was okay in the event that Trust didn't trust it. Sheila was certain expectation would see it one day. Sheila was appreciative that Finn and Minister trusted it. She inquired as to whether he'd get some outside air with her. In the wake of being tied up, Sheila expected to see sunshine and feel the natural air. As Sheila and Minister remained to leave, Sheila guaranteed Trust that the men were correct, and Sheila said thanks to Finn for having faith in her. After Sheila and Minister had gone, Trust inquired, How? Finn advised her to caution him on the off chance that she'd black out once more. Trust couldn't envision how he was feeling. Finn said it had been dreamlike and, surprisingly, subsequent to finding out about Sugar, it had still been difficult to accept. Finn understood that things had gotten exceptionally muddled. Trust concurred, however, said she was glad for him. She let him know that she wouldn't pass judgment on him and she'd be there in the event that he wanted a protected spot to discuss his thoughts. Finn trusted that he felt alleviation and bliss in light of the fact that Sheila hadn't attempted to hurt his better half. He said he had another opportunity in light of the fact that the lady who'd brought forth him was alive. It made a big difference to Finn that Sheila had attempted to safeguard his loved ones. He said that it didn't imply that the past at this point not made a difference or that he'd failed to remember what Sheila had done, yet individuals could change and change. Trust answered that she'd very much want to earnestly concur, however she was all the while battling for certain issues. She yielded that Elder and Finn could be correct. Finn answered that Trust had supplanted the pit in his stomach about his better half killing his mom. He'd found Trust that there was a method for having Sheila in his life, and he would have rather not lost that open door once more. For the well-being of Finn, Trust trusted Steffi could see his side. Finn conceded that it would be a significant see any problems shift for Steffi, and he wasn't messing with himself. That's what he trusted if Steffi would figure out, see the change, and get how concerned Sheila had been for Steffi. Steffi could be feeling significantly better that she hadn't killed Sheila. Finn contemplated that Steffi had faith in Thomas, and life was excessively short. Not entirely settled to have his introduction to the world mother in his life. He said thanks to expect tuning in and understanding. I want that like never before, he said. Trust embraced him. On the roof, Sheila was appreciative to inhale the outside air once more, because of Elder. Elder said it was wonderful to watch her partake in life's straightforward joys. He was sure every other person would come around about her at last. He realized it hadn't appeared to be okay that Sheila would pursue Steffi, and he wished he'd followed up on his senses sooner. Sheila answered that he'd seen her face, however Elder said he ought to have realized it hadn't been Sheila, who'd never go after Steffi. Elder rethought himself for not requesting the police open an examination. Sheila called him her legend, however he said she'd saved herself with her toe. She kidded that everybody had said she'd been insane for making it happen. He was certain she'd continue to astonish him. He referred to her as my wild little typhoon, blowing around, creating problems. She inquired as to whether he preferred tidying up after her. Dropping to one knee, he said he needed to do it until the end of his life. Elder let Sheila know that he hadn't required anybody until her and her missing toe. He groveled to her. He expressed that he didn't mind at all anybody's thought process. He trusted in them. He requested that she wed him. In Eric's office, Carter and Steffi met with Liam, who surged in late, about an arrangement with Spencer Distributions. Before the gathering began, Liam inquired as to whether Finn had gotten back to Steffi. Steffi answered with a disturbed look. The gathering continued, and when it was finished, Liam noticed that she'd never addressed his inquiry. Carter proposed to leave, however Steffi said he could remain. Steffi announced that Elder would before long stop with the insane gibberish since trust would close him down. Steffi trusted it happened soon in light of the fact that she was unable to take finding out about Sheila's toes any longer. Liam accepted that there was a decent opportunity Elder would pay attention to trust. That's what Carter said. Assuming expectation fizzled, another person would attempt to quiet Minister down about Sheila being alive. Liam commented that they'd be generally snickering about it on the off chance that Minister's hypothesis didn't hurt individuals. As Carter left, he encouraged them to remain positive. Steffi asked Liam for what reason they couldn't simply disregard the dead Sheila. Steffi fired to stir herself up about Minister once more, yet Liam attempted to clarify for her that it was an interaction. Things were progressively transitioning away from. Liam avowed that Sheila was long gone. Steffi said thanks to Liam for his help. She said she felt the best she had since before Sheila had appeared at her wedding. Steffi could at last inhale again without investigating her shoulder or recruiting monitors. She and Finn were at long last liberated from Sheila.